Welcome and thanks for tuning in to this episode of Conversations with the Wastewater Whisperer, Lewis Titus of Titus Wastewater Solutions. Lewis, when it comes to treatment in an oxidation ditch, when we talk about the big question, everybody's mind is always going to be, so what about the costs? So when we think about the total life cycle costs, not just including the equipment up front, but your maintenance has to be weighed in. How does using this airflow technology compare to the traditional methods that are out there now in oxidation discs?
Well, we think we're going to be pretty comparable on initial capital cost. Our installation costs are less. You pick these up with a crane and set it in, it's done. Hook a hose up to it. The obviously they may have to mount the blower down, but generally speaking, there's concrete around these oxidation ditches, so it's a simple matter of bolting a blower down and wiring it up. But typically the wiring's there because you got a brush aerator going, so the wire's already there. So it's a very simple conversion to switch over to this technology. And installation costs also need to be factored in. It costs a lot more money to install a brush aerator and way, way, way more money to install a low-speed surface aerator. So a lot of our cost savings is going to be on the installation side. As far as the equipment side, I think we're going to be about a push probably, but the maintenance side is where we really shine because we're going to reduce the maintenance about 90% on these systems. And that's a big deal. And there's no more out there working on these things in really lousy conditions.
Well, that's going to be good news to the operators who may be thinking, hey, it might be time for us to update or service our oxidation ditch.
Well, when I've been around the block now since I started on this, talking to quite a few operators, and they're really tired of all these mechanical aerators. They're just, the maintenance on them is devastating to them. Yeah, and it's not fun maintenance. It's dirty, nasty maintenance. So, we can eliminate all that. It's a great thing for these guys. Main issue with my initial project down in Texas, in San Antonio, is maintenance. That was their big complaint, is the maintenance on these. Broken shaft. You break a 4-inch shaft, it's expensive. And it's not something that you can switch out in 5 minutes. With our system, they could have one spare blower for the whole system. Say they got 2 or 3 oxidation ditches, and say they've got 30 of these aerators going, which would be about 15 blowers because we're running two aerators per blower. You got one spare blower. If one does go out, you simply move it in there, and in 30 minutes you're up and running again. You're not pulling shafts out and hauling down to a machine shop and getting everything rebuilt again. There's no bearings to fail, no paddles to break, no frames to break. When you start breaking paddles and some of this other mechanical equipment, it sets up some vibration, and that tends to destroy everything. So if they don't keep up on the maintenance on these things, they will quickly tear themselves to pieces. We just don't have those problems.